Number 10. Curtis Sharp. Although Curtis Sharp of Newark, New Jersey isn't a stupid human being by any stretch of the imagination, he certainly didn't act like a smart one when he won $5 billion back in 1982. The air conditioning technician did everything you shouldn't do when you win a fortune. Invest in bad schemes, give away tons of money without looking, squandering more of it on luxury items, and forget that the Internal Revenue Service is not your friend. After losing all the money, poor Mr. Sharp ended up finding God and becoming a minister at his church. But thank goodness, although he'd won a fortune that could have set him up for life, he was smart enough not to quit his job, so he does have Social Security and a full pension to fall back on. But he does say today that if he had to do it all over again, he'd take it much slower, and he'd hire a good financial advisor and a good lawyer. At least that's what he recommends to younger lottery winners now. Number 9. Marie Holmes. Single mother of 4 Marie Holmes is a much too forgiving person, if you want to put it nicely. In February 2015, this lady who was holding down 4 part-time jobs to make ends meet won the $188 million Powerball jackpot in her home state of North Carolina. But what was one of the first things she did when she got the $88 million check after taxes? She posted $3 million to bail her boyfriend and father of her youngest child, career criminal Lamar Hot Sauce McDowell, out of jail for a heroin and weapons charge. A few months later, Hot Sauce was in hot water again and needed to be bailed out on another weapons charge. This time, bail was doubled, so $6 million. But the wholesome and sweet boyfriend wasn't done yet. He landed in jail again on street racing charges, and Ms. Holmes was needed to post $12 million bail. Usually, bail money isn't lost. It comes back to the person when the perpetrator who was bailed out does what he's supposed to do. But with Hot Sauce, Marie Holmes is almost guaranteed to lose all her money before she hits the 3rd anniversary of her lottery win. Number 8. Christina Goodnow. I don't know if I'd call Christina Goodnow stupid, but she certainly has a pair of balls on her, I'll tell you that. The 38-year-old Southern Oregon woman used her deceased mother-in-law's credit card to make $12,000 worth of purchases, including a scratch lottery ticket that won her $1 million. Quickly, Goodnow showed up at the Oregon Lottery offices and made off with the first of 20 yearly checks of $32,000. Then, she was arrested on identity theft, forgery, fraud, and a few other charges. Nobody ever found the $32,000, but apparently, since the ticket was bought illegally, although Goodnow appealed the court decision as excessive punishment, according to Oregon law, the Medford Police Department will be awarded the winnings because in Oregon, police agencies can collect money gained through criminal activity. Number 7. Jason Canterbury. When he was 19 years old, Jason Canterbury became the youngest lottery jackpot winner in South African history. He won 6.7 million South African rand, which today would be worth about $1 million US. Unfortunately, Jason used his money to basically try and create a drug empire and ended up getting himself arrested for the murder of an associate over a drug money disagreement. If that wasn't enough, he also tried to dispose of the body himself, which is never a good idea. Anyway, he did try to appeal his 28-year prison sentence back in 2011, but was not met with much love from the judge. Number 6. Marva Wilson. Would it be mean to say that Marva Wilson is dumb? Well, we certainly can't call her the sharpest knife in the drawer. After winning $2 million in the Missouri lottery, that is in the United States of course, where lottery winnings are heavily taxed, naive Marva gave her friend Freya Pearson unrestricted access to her bank account. What? Pearson used the money to travel, gamble, buy cars, an apartment, squandering some $640,000, leaving the lottery winner completely broke. Number 5. Victoria Zell. In 2002, Victoria Zell showed up at a press conference with her then estranged husband, who had won the Powerball jackpot, and who said that even though they were getting a divorce, they'd be sharing the winnings half and half. 3 years later, Victoria was in court, being convicted of driving dangerously and causing the death of 30-year-old Joshua Schmidt and serious spine injuries to 31-year-old Amity DeMock. Since her lottery win, Zell has just thrown caution to the wind and turned her life into a living chaos. Proof that money doesn't always solve everything, and being an idiot certainly doesn't help either. Number 4. Charles Riddle. Charles Riddle won $1 million in the lottery in 1975. That was a huge amount of money back then. Well, it's still a pretty hefty chunk of change today. But instead of realizing that he was set for life, Charles divorced his wife and became a cocaine dealer. Bad choice, Charlie. The many high-profile lawsuits that he had to fight didn't help either. Then, 8 years later, his life derailed completely. He ended up in court on drug abuse charges. 2 years after that, he was sentenced to 3 years in a federal prison for dealing cocaine. Number 3. Denise Rossi. California resident Denise Rossi won $1.3 million in the lottery when a group of employees from her job got the winning numbers. But Denise thought this would be a great time to end her apparently perfect 25-year marriage. So, she didn't tell her husband that she was a brand new millionaire, just that she wanted a divorce. Well, she almost got away with it, but when her lie was discovered, a judge granted the full amount of her winnings to her ex-husband. So there, another clear example of lying being a bad thing. Number 2. Jay Summers. Jay Summers was just 20 years old when he split a $28.9 million jackpot with 5 people in 1988. When he got his first annual payment of $290,000, he went out and bought not 1, but 5 new cars. "I blew all the check in 2.5 months, says Summers. What 20-year-old wins that kind of money and is sensible with it? Things didn't get much better when his friends persuaded him to swap his annual checks for a discounted lump sum payment. One morning, Jay woke up and the money was gone. It had just vanished, thanks to a friend's bad investment and shady deals. Now single and living near Detroit, Summers works in construction and is trying to make it big as a NASCAR driver. "I'm still bitter, and I'll be bitter the rest of my life," he says. "I think I'd be further along today if I had never won." Yeah, Jay, that's it. Blame it on everybody else but yourself, dude. Number 1. Ronnie Music Jr. If you're going to win $3 million in the lottery at the age of 45, it might be a great idea to start that business you always dreamed of having. You know, being your own boss, hiring people you like and trust, working on your own schedule and at your own rhythm. Not such a great idea, though, to invest your dough in a crystal meth drug ring. That's what Ronnie Music Jr. did, and now he's pleaded guilty to drug trafficking and firearm charges, and is waiting to know exactly how many decades he'll spend in a federal prison. Just wonder if he'll be wearing a Walter White t-shirt under that prison jumpsuit.